What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are super excited to finally be doing something with groceries again. It's been a while, but this is absolutely one of our favorite topics.
It really is.
We love learning about the differences between the groceries and the food and the grocery shopping between the US and the UK. We looked at a few different videos about this topic.
Mostly specific stores.
Right.
So this will be a little different, which I'm excited about.
We're comparing the most common grocery items in the US and UK.
How do the US and UK standard grocery items compare in size? In the UK, the largest milk container is 6 pints. That's around 3.4 litres of milk.
Whereas in the US, we
1
commonly
gallon.
see 1 gallon jugs of milk, which works out to be 3.7 liters or 6.66 imperial pints.
The gallon jug in America is bigger than our largest size, but only by around 8.8%. It's quite rare to see someone buy these. I think only really big families will buy these, or maybe like an office that caters for a lot of people. The fact that Americans can buy bigger milk sizes than we can might have something to do with the fact that their milk actually lasts longer. That's due to differences in the pasteurization process.
Right here is an average US chicken breast you get at a grocery store.
Here is an average chicken breast in the UK. Let's find out how much it weighs. American chicken is banned in the UK. In the US, chicken is washed in a chlorine bath before being sent out to consumers. This is to stop the spread of bacteria like salmonella, because American chickens are kept in worse conditions when compared to the UK's. The farming standards in the UK ensure less risk of chickens becoming contaminated in the farming process, and therefore we don't need to rinse ours in chlorine before people eat them.
The UK also won't accept our beef. They banned the use of hormones in 1989, but not in the US, baby. The FDA is totally cool with our cows getting roided up.
I did most of the shopping for this episode in a Sainsbury's, which happens to be my local supermarket. The biggest steak I was able to find was this one, a thick cut rump steak weighing 450 grams.
I went to our local Vons and grabbed any ribeye. This one here's a little over a pound. It's about 485 grams. And any American will tell you this is probably an average size steak you would get at one of our grocery stores. I looked on Walmart and I saw they had a ribeye that's almost 2 pounds or 907 grams. This is not uncommon, and I would not be surprised to see even bigger in the Midwest or Texas.
Obviously, we have a ton of American brands on sale at UK grocery stores, things like Coca-Cola.
I knew the chicken wasn't able to be shipped to the UK, and I don't blame you guys.
Yeah,
I for one, would not want that chicken. Yeah. We don't buy that chicken. You know, the stuff that's bathed in chlorine.
Yeah.
But the beef surprises me. Not so much the feedlot beef, but again, we don't eat that. We actually buy from a local farm, grass-fed, grass-finished. So I just want to put it out there. It's not like we're all stuck eating that horrible chicken or that horrible beef. If you go to the average grocery store like Walmart and you just pick up a random pack, that's what you're going to get. But if you just are a little bit more cautious and you read labels or you shop at different stores, or like us, you go to a local farm, you can get the best quality beef in the world. Right. You can get the best quality chicken in the world. Same thing for eggs and dairy. It's a little harder.
You got to go out of your way to source it and pay more for it.
Oreos or Kellogg's. But also most supermarkets in the UK will have an American section, which contain products which I think Brits assume are big in the States. Here is a selection of items I found in one of those aisles.
And here are the UK items most commonly found in our UK, international, or sometimes ethnic section.
Okay.
I have never seen, by the way, a UK or ethnic section that has British products like this.
Maybe if you go up to some of the larger cities, you'll find this, but here in our area and where I'm from, you don't tend to see something like this.
Of U.S. grocery stores.
The U.S. loves a sugary cereal, and that is reflected in the U.S. sections of
Not me.
supermarkets.
Not me.
Today, I was able to find some Lucky Charms.
Ugh. Oh, they make my teeth hurt.
Trend much more towards being high in fiber, low in sugar. Try and get a spoonful with.
I hate the way they feel.
A spoonful of melon make the medicine go down.
The bulk of it, these brown pieces.
These brown pieces.
Like Cheerios almost.
Yeah.
I'm just not convinced about marshmallows. Like
they're disgusting.
In this, I don't think. And I think of the American cereals.
Every child in America, you read that?
These are one of the better ones, Lucky Charms. The milk in the bottom is kind of taking on all the color from all of them and becoming this kind of like purpley color. Other cereals you might be able to find include things like Fruit Loops, maybe Captain Crunch, but I think these are enough for me.
Now, Weetabix, we've actually tried that.
Yeah, we have tried it.
Early on.
Sophia loved Weetabix.
Yeah. I thought it was good.
It was pretty good.
But what I wanted to say is, guys, I'm not sure. Do you guys make the Fruit Loops and the Lucky Charms and all this in the UK? Are you actually getting the US version? Because obviously
a lot of stuff is banned.
Take Fruit Loops. They have a lot of artificial colorings in them. But recently has been announced that in the U.S. they just banned one of the red food dyes, and by 2026, all food dyes are now going to be banned. Did you hear about that?
I didn't, but
yeah.
Yay,
Yay! It's about time we got some sort of positive change with our food system here, because the dyes, especially for kids, we've seen that with our own daughter, with other kids. The food dyes, specifically the red food dyes, seem to be the worst. They're
all bad.
They cause them to become very hyperactive, and it's just the kids generally don't feel good with those dyes.
Some kids are affected more by it than others, but it's not good for anyone.
One of the most popular cereals over there in the UK, or so we are led to believe in the US. I haven't had it before, and I'm not a fan.
Really?
First thing I think is interesting about this.
Didn't it come in paper? Do you remember that? Yeah.
It comes in these
paper
blocks.
sheets.
This looks like it's shredded old newspapers.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It looks gross.
And look at the mess it's already made just taking 2 out. What the hell's going on over in the UK? What are you guys doing? I guess I just do this, right?
You got to let it soak up in there, though.
Most enjoyable way to start your breakfast. I mean, it's sogging up because of the milk, so that's a good-ish thing.
I'm not big on cereal anyway, though, to be honest.
Like our sweet American cereals, want to get that out of the way here. I never go for the U.S. sweet cereals. I don't like them in the morning. But this is like the opposite problem, where it's so flavorless and bland.
Okay, I gotta say,
most people add stuff to it.
You gotta chop up a banana or something on top, man. Drizzle a little honey, chop up a banana. Then it becomes pretty daggone good, man. I was surprised how much I liked it.
I do have to admit, though, he's right. It looks pretty great.
It looks unappetizing when you see it in the block. I agree.
A very popular item that I cannot get today that you guys have for breakfast, something called Ready Breck porridge.
Never heard of that.
I went to a shop that carries a lot of the UK grocery items. I asked the lady if they had Ready Breck porridge. Her response was, and I quote, "Yuck. Why?" What is the difference between porridge and oatmeal?
Porridge can be made with a variety of grains and cereals, whereas oatmeal is just oats.
Thank you, Harry. Okay. No porridge for the filming of this video.
Another American import when it comes to...
One second, guys. I just wanted to say, if you're going to try a good American-based cereal, I don't know if you guys have this in the UK, but I would say Chex is one of my favorites.
Really?
Yes, they make rice Chex, corn Chex, and is another one wheat Chex? I don't know, but I love the rice Chex, and I grew up on that stuff. I was always the weird kid that I didn't like the sugary Lucky Charms and all that mess. I don't like Lucky Charms. I like plain Cheerios. I like plain Chex with little sugar and banana on top.
I liked Honey Nut Cheerios, Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks were pretty good.
What was the other one? Oh, Fruity Pebbles. I did like those.
It's just. I'm someone who's never really needed a lot of flavor. I like pretty bland stuff, so I just never went for the really sugary stuff. Even though I like sweets, don't get me wrong.
So breakfast foods in the UK are these toaster pastries. Weirdly, we had 2 brands available when I went in. We had Toast-'em Pop-Ups.
Toast-'em?
And of course, we have Pop-Tarts.
Everybody's heard of Pop-Tarts.
But you can also find these strawberry ones. We did do a whole episode on Pop-Tarts at one point.
Really?
My opinions on them haven't really changed since then. For me, Pop-Tarts are not really a breakfast food. I think they're more like a sweet snack. The amount of sugar in here is kind of crazy when compared to...
A lot of kids eat that for breakfast.
They are tasty, don't get me wrong.
A lot of sauces and spread from the UK we have here in the US. I'm gonna try some, and to do so, I have some toast. My cat's got into the bread this morning, so...
For a second, I thought that was the real cat coming across.
I was able to salvage a few non-cat chewed on pieces of bread.
He's got Wonder Bread.
That's hilarious.
Pickle. What is this? Relish? Oh no!
Oh, yeah, we were sent that. We haven't tried.
United Kingdom, what is wrong with you? It smells really vinegary. And also not.
Okay, I'm not huge on vinegar.
Oh gosh, that looks disgusting. I gotta admit.
Oh, the crunchiness of the vegetables have really, it's a really bizarre texture. But after it's like really vinegary, and if it was just the sauce without the veggies, not bad. But apparently it's been around for 100 years. Congratulations.
Branston pickle is fantastic.
Not a fan. Coleman's mustard. I bet this mustard's really
spicy.
Strong. Before I open this, I feel like this is sinus cleansing mustard. Whoa. Oh wow, that's so strong. I think this would be really good on like a brat or a sausage.
A brat.
It's got a kick to it. Ooh, but it's a little like addictive. Marmite, not at all a fan of this. Had it a few times before.
We just got some extra strong Marmite.
Extra old.
Extra old, yeah.
B vitamins. That's an interesting selling point. Wake up your taste buds. Put the oomph in your breakfast. Ay. I've noted before it has the consistency of earwax. People who
Or
eat
like
this
tar.
have told
You
me
remember
that
it?
really are only supposed to take like a dab of it.
Yeah,
How do you
dabadoo.
forget?
I'm told already this is too much.
How do you forget?
It's so, this isn't the right word, but like salty, but it's not like high in sodium. I can see why people would swear by this because it is such a unique flavor. It's so strong.
very
Landfills
strong.
in America must be filled with barely touched jars of Marmite because everyone's like, oh, I heard it's popular. Taste, this is the worst thing ever. Right. I'm an HP sauce boy through and through. HP sauce, if you're listening.
I loved
prefer
it.
A1.
I know you do.
over
Yeah.
Call me, let's talk, let's make it happen. It's not like A1, but it is an A1-ish
Similar,
brown sauce.
yeah.
It's fantastic. I had this the first time when I went over to the UK in like 2000. I couldn't believe it. I was putting it on everything. I love it. I always have a bottle. You don't put HP sauce on toast. Definitely something you'd put on an English breakfast.
For me, it's too sweet.
Or chips,
I
remember?
prefer the tangier.
Dip them in chips.
Yeah.
Or
That's
dip
a
chips
good
in them.
tang. I could put this on just about everything. This makes up for all this. How about a Coleman's
Yeah.
mustard? I'll take it home.
HP
We
sauce,
have some more
yes.
snacks, which are considered kind of American here in the UK. Firstly, we have this beef jerky.
Jack
beef
Link's
jerky
beef
is something
jerky.
which Brits are very much aware of. I think even more so than an American thing, we might consider this to be South African. You often see it in stores
Biltong.
labeled as biltong, which I think is kind of the South African term for beef jerky. But as far as I can tell, pretty much the same thing. It's effectively just dried pieces of meat. It always smells quite bad coming out of the packet. It smells worse than it tastes. It
Very
actually tastes pretty good.
strong.
It's got a satisfying chew to it. Nice and salty. In my supermarket, I was able to find an American jar of peanut butter. I love peanut butter personally, and I do think most Brits do as well.
Really? That's something like, I know some of you like peanut butter, but I'm under the impression that on average it's not a huge thing in
Yeah.
the UK. Aren't you under that impression?
Yeah, I was under that impression.
Let us know in the comments, guys, what do you think of peanut butter? But I wanted to say that Skippy is something that I personally will stay away from.
Yeah, Skippy, I don't think is like a super popular brand here. I feel like it's Jif is.
Jif is probably the most popular. Skippy is on up there as one of like the top 3 or 4 probably.
Yeah.
But most of them, and I think the one he's got there probably has hydrogenated oils.
So does Jif.
Trans fat. I know, all of them do.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, the best peanut butter I've personally had is the Costco
The
brand.
natural.
Kirkland's.
that's Literally just ground up peanuts.
Yeah, it's so good, but they use Valencia. Is that how you?
Valencia.
Valencia peanuts, yes, and they're amazing. Oh my goodness! If you ever have a chance, if you like peanut butter, you ever have a chance to get the Kirkland brand peanut butter
Organic peanut butter.
or what?
Organic.
Yeah, get it, try it. It's amazing.
It's pretty popular. Weirdly, like we don't have that many brands that sell peanut butter. I will just often buy whichever supermarket I'm in's own brand. One thing I will say, while we're on the subject of American peanut butter, no one's really eating PB&J here in the UK. Not a super common flavor
Yes, I've
combination.
heard.
I have done it before. It's lovely. When I think of the
Yes!
US, that is kind of the
Thank you.
archetypal sandwich.
Yes, it is lovely. It is amazing. This one right here, surprisingly, is grew up in America, never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before. Her daughter loves them.
Yeah.
Sophia loves peanut butter and jelly. She gets that from me because I grew up, I ate peanut butter and jelly literally almost every day of my life
I feel like
for the first
most
15 years.
kids do.
I know.
But for me, I was just peanut butter sandwich.
I did peanut butter banana too, though. But anyway, I love peanut butter jelly. I can understand if you were brought up in an area that wasn't a thing, it might seem weird at first, but if you give it a try, it's amazing. It has that sweetness and then the salty, creamy fattiness over bread. I mean, it's just amazing. It really is.
That I think of. One thing that's really common to find in an American section at a supermarket are these.
Marshmallows?
These are giant marshmallows. Marshmallows are a strange
American
one because
style.
I don't really think anyone in the UK is like getting these to snack on. Maybe very few
No.
people are doing that. We don't
Yeah.
really have that s'mores culture. Mini ones for hot chocolate, sure. The only other thing really that marshmallows are used for is like Rice Krispie treats here in the UK.
You guys made them
We
too.
also have marshmallow fluff. This is one thing that's funny to me because when I was growing up, I was led to believe that this was very popular in America, that Americans ate this all the time. I was given a Fluffernutter sandwich at one point,
Ooh, that sounds
which
good.
is peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. Oh, no. For a super fruit dip, mix 200 grams of cream cheese and 1 jar of marshmallow fluff.
Oh,
My goodness.
I've had that.
You have?
Yes. Not like maybe that recipe, but I have had like a fruit dip made
Oh, that's
with
crazy.
cream cheese and
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty good. It's very sweet, though.
I bet that is sweet.
Very
Extremely sweet.
Heinz baked beans. You guys love your baked beans over there.
Did we like Branson's?
Branson's
Yeah,
better.
we like Branson's better.
Baked beans were used from America. It's more of a tomato-based sauce. So you guys have these apparently for breakfast or all the time. Our baked beans have more of a barbecue, sweeter flavor to it. This I'm not into. First of all, you can see these beans right here, USA.
Is he eating it cold?
Like SpaghettiO sauce.
I guess so.
Oh gosh.
Types of beans. I don't know if this would be my go-to breakfast. I did have something like this in the UK, and
Put it on toast.
not like this, but definitely had it like at a place. I thought it was just fine. So I'm going cold beans on this one.
Gross.
Just so
Cold beans on toast.
during the zombie apocalypse.
Do you guys do it cold? I would expect you would always eat it warm.
On toast. Here we go. It's better than it looks, USA. It's just why this. I'm not
I like them, but I like the Branson more.
warm. Yeah, this is what you guys eat.
Beans on toast, fantastic. Honestly, I don't understand the Americans' problem with it. If you try British beans on
Texture.
toast,
It's a
you'll get it.
texture.
Texture,
Other
yeah.
canned UK items we got here.
Mushy peas.
Mushy peas. I don't have a can opener. I'm not opening this. Not popular in the U.S. at all. I never see any sort of mush or mashed peas.
Again, I think it's the texture thing.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes, but peas instead of potatoes. No, thank you. I had it at the UK. This can stay over there. You can also get the UK version of Heinz tomato soup. Regular peas, Ireland's favorite. Salad cream.
Salad cream. What is
You're
that?
like, oh, it's cream made out of salad, right? Mayo for your salad? Like, is this supposed to be salad?
Oh.
Is that
Nope.
is that like a version of
That's
ranch?
very bad.
What is that?
Mayonnaise that's gone bad. UK, you love your tea, you love your biscuits. Obviously, you have so many brands to choose from. These are some of the most popular.
We've tried all those.
We tried all three of those.
Tea starting down here.
Tafu!
PG tips.
My
We
favorite
got
was the
PG
Yorkshire.
tips. I stay in London every once in a while for work, and one of our producers, Leon, when I told him these were the brand in my hotel room, he said these are absolutely the worst ones. Taifu, fun fact.
Yeah, I didn't like
I like Tafu, I
I
thought.
didn't.
Wasn't it?
Tours. I stayed
I had to
with
go back and
Harry
look.
another
I don't think you
Brit,
did either.
Charlie,
Really?
who's producing that series.
I know I like the
Harry
Yorkshire.
was definitely drinking these. I don't know if he got them when he got here or these are the ones he brought from the UK. Anyway, these are Harry's choice right there. Right, Harry? You like the Taifus? He was drinking them in our Airbnb anyway. And these last ones, Yorkshire tea. I feel like I see these all the time. The tea has
Yorkshire.
Bruin, I'm told it's supposed to be at least 2 minutes, Yuli? Yeah, I mean, it tastes like tea. I don't get tea. It all tastes the same. I don't think I've ever
It does not
enjoyed
all
a cup
taste
of
the
tea
same.
that hasn't had alcohol in it. But as far as taste and relaxation,
Tea with
I've never
alcohol?
done it for me.
Like
This
Arnold
is the
Palmer?
Thai
Oh, a Long
Thai
Island
food
iced tea or
versus-
something?
Here we go.
Oh yeah, Long Island iced tea.
Very low. This is a stronger flavor, maybe because the tea bag's in there longer. I don't know. And finally, Yorkshire tea. The Shire of York, Old York, not the new one.
That's the one he's gonna like the most, I think.
It's all the same.
Oh.
No, it's
all the
not.
same.
No, doing it hot with a little honey or sugar
Or milk.
or milk. And the milk, yeah, the milk is a big part. It makes it a little creamier. I have a few biscuits. I enjoy it now. I enjoy a nice cup of hot tea, and it's something I would have never guessed before this journey. So it's definitely something you guys have turned me on to that I would have not done on my own. There's no way, because I grew up, everybody around me drink sweet iced tea, sweet iced tea, sweet iced tea, and it's like, ugh, can't stand it.
Oh,
This one loves sweet iced tea.
like
My whole family, everybody loves sweet iced tea except me. I'm the
I
only
don't
one.
want it like sugar coma sweet tea. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But mildly sweet tea, yes.
Yeah.
So this is boring and I'm not enjoying it. But you guys love your biscuits, your digestives, huh?
I like the digestives, yeah.
Got hobnobs, rich tea. What's the best combination? The most boring looking cookie stroke.
Go with the
biscuit ever?
McVitie's. I like the McVitie's digestives, man. They're
PG
good.
tips. I'm under the impression that these are called digestives because they help with digestion. It's the most basic cookie I've ever eaten. Let's go to hobnobs. Hobnobs. I'm liking the look at this. I got the chocolate one. Get a load of this, you fuddy-duddies. Yeah. Better, but the chocolate is
Oh, he's
I know
unhinged.
everyone's watching this going, there's better tea and there's better biscuits. I believe it. First, I'll go dry.
Galaxy Orange.
Oh, those are good.
They're
Or
amazing.
Foxes.
Fourth one.
Foxes,
You know
yes.
what, but I want Thai
All
food to be
foxes
the
are
best
good.
one. I think because of its packaging. I like it. I like its vibe. It's just completely flavorless. I will say though, I have.
No, it's not.
I thought Thai food was gross, personally.
Afternoon
I think he's talking about the
Sunday
biscuit.
tea, I think it was. Check out that episode. And I did love the teas, and I did love the food that they offered. I actually had a really great time. This does not reflect that at all. But as far as just these packaged crackers and these boxes of these teas, no thanks.
Classic American-style hot dog. We have Dino's branded goods.
Dino's
in the UK.
Big
I would
Dog.
find the classic American-style hot dogs.
Hold on.
Okay, I love that it's in a glass jar.
I do too. That's amazing, but I've never seen that personally.
either.
If that's supposedly American, I don't know where
I
that's
think
at.
American style.
Oh, so it's like what we
It's a
find in
UK
our,
brand,
but it's
but-
like what we find in our normal packaging, but it's put in a glass jar.
Supposedly.
That's cool. I think that's amazing.
I love
actually,
the glass jar concept.
yes, I do too. Is it in water?
Yeah, I don't want it vinegared. I don't
Want it vinegared. Is it in vinegar? I guess it is.
No, I think it's water.
Some sliced pickles, and some crispy onions. These are pretty heavily marketed as being American products, so I assume they are big in America, right?
Hi, hot dog loving American over here. Never heard of Dino's in my entire life.
No.
I mean, the cooking instructions are to place them in a pan and warm them for 5 to 7 minutes. We don't have a pan here. We do
Warm
have
them?
a
No,
microwave.
she wants some
Laura's gonna
black.
I want them
microwave me as well.
charred.
White stuff on the hot. Oh,
Thanks, Laura.
listening.
Let's make a authentic American hot dog. They got some nice buns here. Lay that in there. Beautiful.
That's a big one.
That is a big.
Pickles in a hot dog? That's like a Chicago
Pickle
thing,
in a
right?
hot
Here we go,
dog?
assembling my
No.
authentic
No.
American
No.
Brooklyn style hot
Some
dog,
people, yeah, but not me.
which currently consists of quite a dry bun with no sauce, a large jumbo sausage, pickles.
I've never heard of anyone putting pickles
Crispy
or crispy
onions?
onions.
Things in my life, and this looks like one of the worst.
No.
I just can't believe these are the real authentic hot dogs.
They're
you
not.
guys are eating in America all the time. The Americans on the team have now pointed out that Dino's, as well as Epic Snacks, might not be as American as they're advertised to be. Despite the fact that they both sit in the American section of the supermarket, they're actually both owned by the UK brand Urban Food Brands. I should probably have guessed by the fact that most American meat cannot legally be sold in the UK. American sections of British supermarkets contain a lot of candy, or sweets, as we would say. One thing I was able to find were
Jolly Ranchers.
I have tried these before. All in all, I would say I'm a fan of
I grew up on
sour
those.
candy. Within reason. Not
Yeah, I like
sour
sour
candy
candy.
challenges here.
Every kid
The
took them
colour,
to school
like slightly
because they're easy to like hide and
Hide in
whatnot.
your pocket.
Yeah.
Colorings.
Then your tongue was.
Red 40 and yellow 5 in here. But they
Pretty
have
soon those will be disappearing, hopefully.
sour than
Hallelujah.
average hard candy.
Hey, I know UK is holding it down for chocolate. We've done the episodes before. You guys got the good stuff. So
Yes.
Whenever I get a chance to try some, I'm very excited. Right here, starting off, the
Oh.
Mars bar. UK
Yeah.
chocolate is very good. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Caramel.
I can taste it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love chocolate and coconuts.
The Bounty.
Oh my God. Lion bar. Gur baby.
Go, baby.
Bird. That's not a good thing. Wafers and Krispies, U.S. candy heads in the comments. Is this something that we have that I'm not aware of? This is like a Kit Kat covered in Krispies, covered in chocolate.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
The Little Debbie snack cake Star Crunch.
A little bit. It's better than
Kind
that,
of.
though. It's better
Yeah.
than that. The little Debbie
I'm
stuff.
saying the combination of stuff.
Again, it's like it's so junky. The little
Yeah.
Debbie stuff. It's like it's weird though because growing up, I feel like it was better quality, and I feel like
Everything was.
I literally feel like over the last 20 years or so, everything's just gone downhill when it comes to all the candies and stuff.
With caramel in it. Good setup on this one. Yo, let's get those Lion bars in the U.S.
One thing that I found a lot of in my supermarket was nerds. We have
Nerds.
the grape and strawberry nerds.
I feel like
Nerds
those-
fruits,
when you're
which also
little,
seems to be in
those
partnership
are
with
popular,
Wonka
but-
for some reason. The Timmy Chalamet version, phenomenal, by the way. There's a genuine chance that Timmy Chalamet is one of my Spotify Wrapped top artists this year because I've listened to the Wonka soundtrack a lot. Here we have the watermelon and cherry nerds. I kind of want to try the nerds rope because I feel like this is one of the things that
I remember those.
see
I
Do
didn't
you?
know they
people
still made
raving about.
them.
Wait, what is that?
like a kind of like gum.
Okay, it's
Ooh.
like licorice kind of, like a Twizzler
Yeah.
almost in the middle, a bit thicker, and then nerds like glued on.
Glued on nerves to some licorice.
Not glued, but you know what I mean, like attached
A towel. How's it attached?
Attached.
How's it attached?
from like sugar water or something. Like
Oh,
stick it on.
man, that's too much for me. Maybe if I was a
They're
kid,
kind
man.
of like sour,
Ugh.
sweet.
gummy rope that is coated.
I used to like those, but yeah, I probably wouldn't anymore.
They're pretty good.
I liked the nerds
Texture
growing up.
contrast going on
Yeah.
there.
I didn't have a lot to choose from, so this is the Aero Peppermints.
I'm not a big fan of it.
Not a fan of the Aero. I don't like the
For the chocolate.
way
glass,
it's.
and
The
that
peppermint I
rose.
think was the best.
Curly whirly.
I love these things.
Curly
I feel like
whirly.
these are more marketed towards kids. This is so smart. Check this out. It's just the swirls of caramel covered in chocolate. There's no cookie or anything in here. It's just chocolate covered caramel in this like weird shape. I love these so much.
They are
There's
good.
so many.
That's one
US
that
versus
Sophia
UK
liked so
chocolate
much, isn't it?
episodes. Go ahead and watch them after this, please. Don't leave yet. Well, now Harry's holding up without chocolate. Probably not very good.
We are able to get Hershey's brand chocolate here in the UK. I actually found a few different varieties. We have obviously the standard Hershey's milk chocolate. We have cookies and chocolate and cookies and cream salted caramel. Honestly, I think it's brave of Hershey's to even try and sell things in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our chocolate is way better than American chocolate. Hershey's always feels quite grainy. It can have a slightly almost vomity aftertaste, which is
We learned about that,
I don't understand
remember?
how anyone would walk into a British supermarket with a dairy milk with the Galaxy chocolate on offer and think, no, I want Hershey's.
You know, it's interesting that the majority of people in the comments when we've done chocolate taste test videos or we've talked about chocolate in the US versus the UK, most people in the comments are like, you know, if they tried Hershey's, they don't like it. But I have seen the occasional person that's British actually say they like Hershey's.
Yep. That's
And so it's just, you know, maybe it's something they didn't grow up with, and then because it's different,
yeah.
you know, they
It's
might
more
like
exotic.
it. Yeah, Hershey's is exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Hershey's is really good for a s'more, though.
It is.
You know, that is something that Hershey's, even though I'm not a big fan of Hershey bars themselves that much, Hershey's in a
But it's
s'more.
just like an iconic combination.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. That's what Hershey's is for. Let's be honest. Hershey's is for a s'more.
s'more.
Yeah.
Hershey's is for a s'more. That's what that should be their
Hershey's.
slogan.
Call us, baby. Come on. We got your slogan for you. Hershey's is for a s'more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fruit gums, not gummies, gums.
Fruit gums.
Just,
I've seen those. I think we tried those. Did we try those?
Probably.
I think we
One
did.
that These are.
Oh, I didn't like
artificial
'em.
colors
We did try
and
those.
preservatives. Oh, there's a
I
weird one.
don't,
Here.
yeah, I don't like them.
I think it might be blackcurrant. They're not terrible. It's not that good.
Another American classic, Mike and Ike's.
I've never honestly tried those.
I have.
Version. Looks kind of just like a long jelly bean. Yeah, texturally basically a jelly bean.
I'm not a
it's just
fan.
These vibrant colors.
I would probably like
that
the
you really
sour
don't see
better
in
than.
the UK.
I just don't like jelly
Visually
beans.
spectacular. We also have Reese's peanut butter.
There you go,
These are ones
baby.
that I think,
That's
again,
it right
kind of
there.
Transcended the line now between being an American candy and just being a sweet that we have in the UK. These are the bigger cup versions.
That's all I need to live on right
Overall,
there.
I do like these,
What?
even though
That's all I need to live on.
it's the American chocolate and also the American peanut butter. I think I'm just such a sucker for peanut and chocolate as a combo that I'm willing to overlook those things when it comes to a Reese's.
There's nothing better than
Whatever the
peanut
flavor
butter
is.
and chocolate combo.
Yeah.
Depending on which supermarket you go to, you might be able to find other options as well. I've definitely seen things like Twizzlers in the past, maybe Butterfingers or like Hershey's chocolate syrup. Now let's take a
Butterfingers?
look at
I
some
don't like any
items
of
which are the
those.
same in both
like
countries, but go
Butterfingers.
by different names. For instance, these UK cereals are called Frosties, Cocoa Pops,
Frosted Flakes.
and Sultana brand.
Cocoa
We also
Puffs.
have Curiously Cinnamon, which unfortunately I couldn't find today.
In the U.S., we call them
Cocoa
Frosted
Krispies.
Flakes,
That's what it was.
Cocoa Krispies, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Raisin Bran.
In the UK, we call this vegetable an aubergine, and this one a courgette. The little leafy herb that you might sprinkle on a taco, that's called coriander.
In the U.S., we call them zucchini,
Cilantro.
cilantro.
The average UK family spends around £5,304 a year on groceries.
A year?
Hold on. 5,304 pounds a year. So that's like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. That is insane. Okay, that's two adults and
And
one
we mean
child.
this in a good way, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Not like,
yeah.
oh, how dare you, but
I'm thinking we probably spend around $900, $1,000 a month.
it's a lot.
So about, I would say at least 10,000. We're spending double that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we're a family of two adults and a child.
Yeah.
But I will say that we aren't buying a ton of processed junk usually.
Right.
But you know, we have eaten a little bit too much fast food, so I am including that in the
Right.
budget. But I would say on average that if we're eating strictly groceries, we're probably at least in the $8,000, $9,000, maybe even $10,000 range. Would you agree?
yeah, that's crazy.
We have seen that it is much more expensive to eat here. Like grocery prices, we've seen
Right.
is incredibly
Overall.
more affordable in the UK.
Granted, we do tend to buy like the more expensive products than most families probably.
Yeah.
So but we also don't buy the top tier everything like other families do.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like in the middle, good, like, average.
Yeah, but like when you eat a lot of meat, dairy, even just whole foods, it adds up. We're not even buying a lot of stuff in the middle of the aisles.
But we do buy a lot of like organic, not everything organic, but when we can and it's affordable enough, we do.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
In the U.S., the household spending average is $5,700.
What?
No. There is no way.
There's no way.
What about the prices of common items in both?
Wait. A lot of families, it's called the standard American diet for a reason.
True.
If you were to go and we were to just go and buy a bunch of frozen TV dinners, for example, processed food, yes, we could
probably stuff with a longer shelf life, like not fresh food.
Yeah, so if we went and did that, I'm guessing we would actually see a much lower grocery price. We know we would.
Sure, but
when
at what cost?
It's backwards. It's so backwards in our country that it is much more expensive to buy fresh food. Just like the outer ring of the grocery store of fruits, vegetables, meat, dairy, eggs, all that stuff, than it is to actually do what the standard American diet is and buy like all these frozen foods and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's really kind of sad, man, because it should be the opposite. Stuff that's less involved should actually be cheaper.
But it can be cheaper, like if you choose to grow a lot of your own produce.
Yes, right, of course.
That ability.
But we're talking specifically buying from the grocery store. Like it should be cheaper to actually buy just whole foods instead of buying a bunch of processed junk.
Should be.
But that's what it is. That's why the U.S. version was lower than why we were shocked about it, because
that still blows my mind.
Yeah.
I just don't see how that's possible.
Both countries.
Ground beef makes up 40% of the U.S. beef sales. Average price per pound is $4.43.
In the UK, the average cost of minced beef per kilogram is £6.84. Once again, our meat is less expensive.
I've been to the UK and I've tasted their chicken and their beef. Gotta say, not impressed.
I could not disagree more strongly, Joe. Having now done a bunch of trips with you as well, trying the beef, trying the chicken in both countries, British beef is clear by miles. Chicken, maybe the difference is slightly less noticeable, but I have to say, the beef, man, you can really taste the difference in quality. It turns out that the US imposes a sizable markup on imported British items. For example, here in the UK, our smallest Marmite jar is around £2.50. Over in the US, that same jar will cost you $9.99.
What?
Around £8.
That is insane.
What it's going to cost you. A tin of baked beans at a Tesco will cost you around £1.40. US cans are actually slightly smaller and will cost you around £4.37. Americans are paying almost $1 more per 100 grams for their baked beans.
Goodness.
Is it the same the other way? Let's look at U.S. imports in the UK. These strawberry Pop-Tarts in the U.S. run about $3.99. In the UK, they're about £3.30. Yes, it is more. This box of 10 Twinkies in the U.S. is shockingly cheap, about $4. In the UK, I'm seeing the same box for £6. Now, I know it's just a few pounds or dollars, but I have to say it. At any price, not worth it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Grocery chain, with Tesco Express being its most common format. The average size of a Tesco is around 3,000 square feet.
Our biggest is Walmart, with its supercenters being the most popular store. A Walmart supercenter in the U.S. is 187,000 square feet.
Perhaps a fairer comparison would be a US Walmart versus a UK Asda. Asda, which is actually owned by Walmart, has larger stores on average because they tend not to operate in city centres.
I didn't realize they were
Asda Superstore, or as we say in the UK, a big Asda, is around 60,000 square feet.
In the U.S., each week, 255 million people visit Walmart. It employs 1.6 million people.
Tesco in the UK employs over 300,000 people. It says it serves millions of people every week, but doesn't provide a specific number. They do claim that 70% of the UK population lives less than 5 kilometres away from a Tesco. They are pretty ubiquitous. The UK has regulations that supermarkets have to adhere to. For example, the width of the aisles has to be at least 1,200 millimetres or 47 inches to allow customers with mobility issues to access them.
The ADA requires aisles to be a minimum of 36 inches or 914.5 millimeters.
Bigger stores often means more variety. Tesco in the UK offers around 90,000 products.
Whereas Walmart has 140,000 products in stores. One thing I don't think the US is clamoring for is haggis. Shout out to Scotland. Haggis has been banned in the US since 1971 because it has sheep's lung in it. All livestock lungs in the U.S. are regulated and forbidden because fluids like stomach acid from the animal can get trapped in the lungs. This can increase to the presence of microorganisms and environmental toxins. We'll stick with our delicious red 40, thank you very much.
It also turns out that Kinder eggs are banned in the US.
Yeah.
The US has a rule prohibiting non-nutritive objects in food. In this case, it's the little plastic egg containing a toy. Worth noting that Kinder Joy candy is still allowed in the US. Sorry about Kinder chocolate, man. It's so delicious. And there it is. Let's see what we got as well. Beautiful. It's very funny to me that Americans will put chlorine and various other chemicals in their food, but they draw the line at little koalas. Because the US stores are so much bigger, they tend to cater more towards bulk buying, which I think in general is more of a US thing. I think partly due to economic factors, people are starting to bulk buy slightly more here in the UK, but I'd say overall, still more of an American thing. Joe, are you a bulk shopper?
Absolutely. My pantry is packed with dry goods, toilet paper, dried mango. I am ready for the next pandemic.
In the UK, it's common to find food products with the Union Jack flag on them. When they see this, Brits are led to believe that by buying that product, they're supporting local farmers. There has been some controversy because all the flag means is that the manufacturer is in Britain, while the food can contain ingredients from elsewhere. When you're checking out at a UK supermarket, you bag your own groceries. Is that not the case in the US, Joe?
Nope. Usually it's a cashier or bagger who bags our groceries.
I would say that that's not always true. For example,
self-checkout, which is very common now.
Self-checkout is definitely taking over.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the majority of the time you go to Walmart, you're going to do self-checkout.
Yeah, most people. Unless you just want to go to a person.
Yeah.
But Aldi is another one where you bag your own. Costco, you bag your own. Like like bulk stores or the places that are more budget, like Aldi, that's how they keep prices low, is by having you do your own grocery bagging.
You know, something that really stuck out to me was just how many of the products from the UK that not only do I know now, but actually we've tried at some point.
True.
Specifically the chocolate. I mean, at this point, we've tried so many different types of chocolate. We've tried different types of biscuits. We knew all of the biscuits and tea they showed here, for example. And I could go on and on and on to the different brands that when I started this channel, I literally knew probably none of them except Cadbury. I don't even know if I knew that Cadbury was a British brand. I just knew of it.
Yeah, and also I didn't know that the Cadbury in the US wasn't the Cadbury.
Yes. Obviously, I think everybody watching probably knows that at this point that the Cadbury we have here in the US is unfortunately made by Hershey's. Now, like we've said, it is better than the regular Hershey's, but it is no comparison compared to the Cadbury that comes from the UK.
Right.
And even down to the things like Kit Kat. Oh my goodness. First time we tried Kit Kat, it was like, it almost tasted like it was homemade.
Our taste buds like started singing on a whole new level.
Oh my goodness, baby. Get in my mouth, girl.
Yeah, I think it was the peanut butter chunky Kit Kat was the first chocolate that we tried.
It was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing. So
still delish.
I can say that it is absolutely true from our experience. The stuff that you seem to be able to buy at your average grocery store, like, I don't know, Tesco versus us going to Walmart, buying something off a shelf. I feel like not only is your food stuff, it usually tends to be better quality, it tastes better, but you're also going to have less junk in it, right? You're not going to have all those food dyes that we currently have in a lot of our foods. But one thing I find fascinating is the fact of how he was saying that the British beef was better and the chicken was better. And I guess on the surface, if we're talking specifically, you know,
in general, easily accessible.
Yeah, in general, you go to Tesco, pull some chicken or some beef off the shelf, and we go to Walmart and pull some chicken or beef off the shelf. I think I can believe that your chicken and beef is probably better. But what I want to say is we go and we get our beef from the farm down the street, and it's just cows eating on grass, the same as the cows would that are grass-fed in the UK. And so I feel like we can get the same quality beef. It's
or
just
even better in some instances.
It's just harder, to do. And the same thing for chicken. Now, chicken is actually much harder to get than good quality beef here. It's unfortunate.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah, me neither.
It's very hard to find, at least in our area, homegrown chicken that isn't ridiculously overpriced.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I mean, like, I can't even remember what it was, but it was shocking when I last looked at what some of the cost of those chicken breasts are, for example.
Yeah.
Eggs too. Eggs are over the top expensive when you want to get the good pasture raised stuff. And it's unfortunate that if you go to Walmart, for example, or to Kroger's and you just pick up the basic eggs, they're going to be like the factory farm eggs, and it's just unfortunate. Same thing with our dairy. Like the dairy he was showing would be a milk that I would prefer not to consume because I know that it is horrible quality. I know that it's got so much antibiotics and all this other stuff inside of it. And so I think that is the biggest takeaway that we all should understand about the differences between the quality of food in the UK and the US directly from the grocery store. If we just both walk into our grocery store, someone in the UK and someone in the US,
hands down, you guys win.
You guys win.
Yeah.
On price as well.
On ease of access and just peace of mind with the ingredients that you don't have to worry about so much as we do. Yeah. But I want to make sure everybody understands this because I think a lot of people think we just can't get any good quality food. It seems like that, but that's not the case. It's just a little bit harder and in some cases more expensive. Except like we said, our beef is actually cheaper that we get from the farm than what you get from the actual grocery store. So that's pretty incredible, actually. Yeah. But I love this topic, if you can't tell. I get very energized talking about this. I don't know what it is I love about this topic so much. It's just everybody has to eat. Everybody buys groceries. And so it's very fascinating. Very relatable, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's very fascinating to see like what you guys are experiencing when you go to the grocery store. What do your products look like? What are the prices? And just everything about it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I am super excited because finally we are getting the dyes out of our food stuff. They're giving it like a year or so, I think, because they have to give the food companies time to kind of change everything. But do you know how exciting that is to me? Because like that is something we've always, granted, we don't buy a bunch of like color stuff for our daughter, but when we do, we have to pay attention so much just to make sure it doesn't have the food dyes and stuff.
Well, it's not so much our household that is the issue. It's like when we want to go anywhere else.
Yes.
Or, any other kid's party or any other...
Go to a birthday party and you see like the mermaid cake and it's got all this artificial dye in it, and how it's going to affect the behavior of your children.
Like, you want your child to feel left out.
No. So you're like,
you're just like, oh, okay, guess we're going to be miserable later.
Yeah, right? It's just, but that is something, I think that is the number one thing I would have asked to remove out of our food stuff, the dyes, and now that it's happening, that is amazing, and I'm so thankful. That is the first positive change with our food supply I can remember happening in a long, long time. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll start seeing a decrease in some other, some bad pesticides and things like that. Glyphosate, my goodness, man, glyphosate. I personally believe that is a big reason why in the U.S. a lot of people have issues with wheat. The glyphosate. Now, for us specifically, if you're interested in checking that out, we recently did an update video on our second channel talking about what happened during our 100-day challenge, and we go into detail about kind of what we were doing and whatnot. But we've eaten Italian wheat. So I don't think it has the same amount of glyphosate as the American stuff, and I still seem to have issues with wheat. Yeah. And so
some people it just doesn't. Like them, but.
But guys, I know I'm rambling like crazy right now, and this is probably going to be a long video at this point, so I think we'll let you go. Let us know in the comments, guys, if you're in the UK and you've ever been inside of a US grocery store, what differences you noticed versus what you experienced back in the UK. We'd love to know how that experience was for you. Yeah. Also, let us know, guys, how accurate what we saw here was about UK shopping in general. But I think that's it for us today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe, guys, to continue to follow us on our journey to discover anything and everything about the UK and Ireland. Until next time, guys, peace.